That's how Selena Gomez summed up the emotional wreckage left behind after her breakup with Justin Bieber. And if you followed their story over the years, you know that wasn't just a throwaway comment. Their relationship wasn't your average teenage fling. It was a roller coaster full of passion, public drama, and constant ups and downs, all unfolding under the scrutiny of millions. Selena has openly shared just how hard that chapter of her life was. Behind the headlines and away from the cameras, she quietly suffered. She admitted that the breakup left her feeling lost and broken, struggling to hold herself together while the world watched and speculated. But it wasn't just about heartbreak. It affected her sense of self-worth, her mental health, and her ability to trust again. Selena has always been pretty private about her personal life, especially when it comes to Justin. But now she's peeling back the curtain, showing what's real and incredibly painful. This wasn't just a breakup, it was a long, complicated relationship that left deep emotional scars. Before we dive deeper, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe so you never miss any of the latest celebrity stories. It's free and it helps us keep bringing you fresh content every week. Now, Selena and Justin weren't just any teen couple. To the outside world, it looked like a fairy tale. But behind the scenes, it was way more complicated than anyone could have imagined. Their relationship dragged on for nearly 8 years, full of breakups, makeups, and everything in between. One week, they were photographed holding hands like nothing could come between them. The next, they were unfollowing each other on Instagram and throwing serious shade online. It wasn't just messy, it was emotionally exhausting. Especially for Selena, their relationship was constantly in the spotlight. Every fight or reunion became front-page news. Fans were deeply invested, and the media never stopped watching. Then came the rumors, including the big one in 2019 that blew up after Taylor Swift liked a cryptic post hinting that Justin might have cheated on Selena. That sent fans into full investigation mode. Many believe there was way more to the story than either Selena or Justin ever admitted. And then, in what felt like the blink of an eye, Justin moved on. He married Hailey Baldwin in September 2018, just months after Selena and Justin seemed to rekindle things again. For many fans, it felt like emotional whiplash. Some were happy for him, others confused, and a lot just plain off balance. People wondered how Selena was coping. From the outside, it looked like a closed chapter in their long, chaotic love story. But even after the wedding, things didn't really settle down. Both Justin and Selena kept referencing each other in their music. Every time a new song dropped, fans would pore over the lyrics, searching for clues about their past. Interviews added even more fuel to the fire. They never named each other directly, but the subtext was often unmistakable. Even in 2021, fans were convinced Selena was still singing about Justin in songs like Lose You to Love Me and Look at Her Now. Their relationship left a mark not just on them but on pop culture as a whole. It wasn't just a breakup, it became an era. One that, for better or worse, still echoes years later. But here's the good news. Selena Gomez is finally in a good place when it comes to love, and getting there wasn't easy. On a recent episode of the Atypical Manners podcast, released April 29th, Selena opened up about the emotional gap between her breakup with Justin and finding love again with her fiancé, Benny Blanco. True to form, Selena kept it real. She admitted she hadn't liked anyone in a very long time. She explained just how hard it was to connect with someone after everything she'd been through. That chapter after Justin wasn't just quiet, it was lonely. She described going on the occasional date here and there, but nothing ever stuck. Worse, nothing ever felt right. Then came Benny. When they shared their first kiss, Selena said it felt completely different from anything she'd experienced in years. She said, "Some kisses are for fun, but when you feel something behind a kiss, it's completely different." Fans loved that. One person wrote on X, formerly Twitter, "I don't want a toxic Justin Bieber. I want nurturing Benny Blanco." It wasn't just romantic, it was emotional. Even a little overwhelming. After spending nearly 5 years mostly on her own, trying to figure out who she was and what she wanted, that moment caught her off guard. She admitted, "I was a little embarrassed," referring to how unfamiliar and vulnerable that feeling had become, especially for someone who spent so much of her life in the spotlight and endured such a turbulent relationship with Justin Bieber. Selena's honesty about loneliness and discovering love is refreshingly down to earth. And she's done hiding it now. Gomez didn't hold back when she sat down with Amy Schumer for a raw, honest conversation in Interview magazine. Reflecting on the 8 roller coaster years she spent with Justin, she admitted that during that time, her life felt completely out of control, from her emotions to her public image. Everything started slipping out of her hands. My intention was never to become tabloid fodder, she explained. So when things got that way, it got out of control. She talked about how it felt watching her personal life get twisted into clickbait, exaggerated by the media, and misunderstood by the public. She said, "I was like, wait, none of this is true. The way the media has some mystery to explain things has made it sound really bad, when in reality, there's nothing wrong with the fact that it needed to go away or that I fell in love." In one of her most vulnerable interviews to date, Selena opened up to NPR about a deeply personal and painful truth she experienced emotionally during her on and off relationship with Justin. She didn't name names at first, but when asked directly if the abuse she referenced was emotional, she didn't hesitate to say yes. She found strength in her truth, explaining, "It's dangerous to stay in a victim mentality. I'm not being disrespectful. I do feel I was a victim of certain abuse. Yes, and I think it's something that I had to find a way to understand as an adult." Selena said, "As much as I definitely don't want to spend the rest of my life talking about this, I am really proud that I can say I feel the strongest I've ever felt, and I found a way to walk through it with as much grace as possible." For fans who followed their relationship, the breakups, the makeups, the whirlwind headlines, her words hit hard. It wasn't just a messy love story. It was a relationship that left emotional scars. But even while talking about the pain, Selena stayed focused on healing. She wasn't looking for pity or trying to open old wounds. She was just telling her truth. And in doing so, she made it clear that recognizing the abuse wasn't about holding on to the past. It was about breaking free from it, and we know she's not lying about it being toxic because JB himself admitted to it in an interview. He said, "I think I was just hurt from my previous relationship." When asked why he behaved that way, he said, "I think I still was dealing with a lot of unforgiveness and all that sort of stuff. To be honest," he admitted, "I don't think I even knew what I was really struggling with at the time. I didn't think I knew I was dealing with unforgiveness." One person wrote on X, "Justin Bieber just admitted that he basically treated Selena like trash. Y'all finally admit he was the toxic one in that relationship." Justin hasn't directly responded to Selena's comments about emotional abuse, but he's been open about his own struggles in recent years. In a raw Instagram post back in September, Justin reflected on the darker parts of his past, including how fame, pressure, and poor choices affected the way he treated people, especially in relationships. He confessed, "I started doing heavy drugs at 19 in all my relationships. I became resentful, defensive to women, and angry." It was a rare moment of vulnerability from the pop star, who admitted it's taken him years to recognize and unlearn the toxic behavior he once normalized. He described it as a painful, ongoing process, one that requires a lot of reflection, faith, and accountability. While he didn't mention Selena by name, the timing and tone of his post made it clear that he was referring at least in part to the damage done during their time together. It seems both of them, in their own ways, have had to heal from a relationship that shaped them, for better and for worse. So, what do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let us know if you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're the first to see my next video. I post updates like this every week, uncovering the secrets of your favorite celebrities. Thanks so much for watching.